Hello everyone. Today we're taking notes on vertical angles on page 11 in our notebook. If you did not update your notes on page 3, please pause the video and do that first. Please write down on page 11 vertical angle notes, supplementary versus vertical, and draw the two diagrams that you see on your screen. So you should already have these two diagrams drawn on page 11 in your notebook, and the notes that should say supplementary versus vertical. We typically confuse supplementary angles with vertical angles, so today I wanted to talk about, before we start with vertical angles, the difference between the two. So supplementary angles are formed when two angles make a straight line. So the image on the left is an example of supplementary angles. Vertical angles are made when two lines intersect, and when two lines intersect they make four angles. And the opposite angles are the vertical angles. The angles side by side to each other will be supplementary because they make a straight line. So if I were to call this angle on the left A and B are supplementary because they make a straight line, and 82 and A are supplementary because they make a straight line. So we want to talk about the difference between supplementary and vertical and how we write those equations. On supplementary angles, two angles add to make 180. So the equation would be 82 plus B equals 180 degrees. We would solve for the angle B by subtracting 82 on both sides. So B equals 180 minus 82. So I know that's 100 and 2 more, which is 98 degrees. So B would equal 98 degrees. Because if I add 98 and 82, it makes 180 degrees. Vertical angles are different. They don't add to make 180, and they don't add to make 90. Supplementary angles add to make 180 because two angles make a straight line. Vertical angles are when two lines intersect, make four angles, and opposite angles are equal. So for vertical angles, the equation is the opposite angles equal each other. So B equals its opposite angle, 82 degrees. So this one, B equals 82 degrees. The difference between supplementary and vertical is that supplementary angles add to make 180, but vertical angles are equal to each other. So in this example, for supplementary, we had to subtract 82 from 180 to find the missing angle. To find the missing angle for vertical angles, it equals whatever its opposite angle is. We're going to talk about two more examples of supplementary versus vertical. I have drawn the diagrams, as you see on the screen, into my notebook on page 11. So please pause the video until you have the two diagrams shown on my page 11, also on the screen, into your notebook. Between these two examples, one of them is supplementary and one of them is vertical. Supplementary angles are when two angles add to make 180 or a straight line. This is the example of supplementary. Vertical angles are when two lines intersect and make four angles, and then opposite angles will be equal. So we've been practicing with supplementary and complementary. So the equation for the example on the left is an example of supplementary. The equation would be 6x plus 3 plus x plus 2 equals 180. And we would solve it using the steps that we practiced this past week. We would combine our like terms. 6x plus x makes 7x. 3 plus 2 makes a positive 5 to equal 180. From there, we would subtract 5 from both sides. And get 7x equals 175. Our last step then is to divide both sides by 7. And I do that, I get 175 divided by 7, which is 25. So in this example, x equals 25. We're going to plug that into each of our equations like we practiced. So the first one is x plus 2, so 25 plus 2. This would be 27 degrees. This one is 6 times 25 plus 3. So 6 times 25 is 150 plus 3 is 153 degrees. And in my calculator, if I take 153 and add it to 27, it makes 180. So this is an example of supplementary because these two angles added to make 180. This example on the right is another example of vertical. Two lines intersected to make 4 angles. The angles opposite of each other will be equal. The angle 6x plus 3 is opposite 33, so it equals 33. So this angle right here, I already know how many degrees it is. It's 33 degrees. Now I need to solve for x. I do that by subtracting something from both sides. So I'm going to minus 3 because the 3 was positive. And I get 6x equals 30. From there, I'm going to divide both sides by 6. Divide by 6, divide by 6, and I get x equals 5. If I plug this value, x equals 5, into my equation, I get 6 times 5 plus 3. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 3 is 33. We did it because it was supposed to be 33, and when I plugged x back into it, it also made 33. The big difference between supplementary and vertical is that supplementary, we're adding angles to make 180. For vertical, we're not adding our angles, we're setting our angles equal to each other. So please make sure you have these 4 examples copied down in your notes on page 11. And I will see you during your next in-class day so we can practice solving equations for vertical angles. Thanks for watching.